Good day, Android Studio coders. Today, I am going to discuss displaying text to a text view from a text file. In our previous lesson, we have shown that we can pass to a text view for the text view to display a string which is named inside the resources folder under strings.xml. Today, we are going to learn how to get the text from a text file and display it to a text view. So before we go directly into the Android Studio IDE itself, let's discuss the important concepts that we are going to use. So first, for example, you have a text file and I have here something I have named sample text file, and I have 10 lines here, line 1 up to line 10, and our objective is to display it into a text view in the screen of your activity, just like this as it is shown. And then we have to learn or be introduced to the important Android Studio concepts or Android concepts, and one of these is string buffer. A string buffer is like a string, and it can be modified. At any point in time, it contains some particular sequence of characters, but the length and content of the sequence can be changed through certain method calls. So we're going to call some methods for us to be able to change the sequence, length, and content of that string. And the next is input stream. So what is this? This is an abstract class and is the superclass of all classes representing an input stream of bytes. So this is something abstract and happens in the background, and typically always connected to some data source. So in this case, we are going to connect the input stream to a text file data source. So like a file, network, connection, pipe, etc. Okay. So the file in this case that we are going to take as an example or in this lesson is a text file. And input stream are used for reading byte-based data, 1 byte at a time. And next is buffered reader. So we already have input stream and string buffer. String buffer, input stream, and now we have buffered reader. So what is this? It reads text from a character input stream. So buffered reader is reliant on the input stream because it reads text from a character input stream. So since input stream reads byte per byte, that byte could contain a character. So buffered reader would be the one to read a character from that stream. So buffering characters so as to provide for the efficient reading of characters, arrays, and lines. Okay, so the buffer size may be specified or the default size may be used. The default is large enough for most purposes, so we're not going to specify any buffer size when we code this. Okay, and next is a set movement method. This is connected with your text view since we are going to use text view to display the contents of the text file. Okay, it sets the movement method, usually for arrow key handler, to be used for this text view. So without set movement method, when your lines of text inside the text file is so long and longer than your text view, you are not able to scroll down or scroll up to view the rest of the contents of your text view. So this is important when you have long lines of text inside your text file and you want to display all of them. But if the text is not long enough to occupy greater than the text view in your screen, you don't need this. Or if you wanna display only one line at a time and each line is not so long, you don't really need set movement method for that case. Uh, but on the other hand, if you have long paragraph type content inside your text file, you'll definitely be needing set movement method. Okay, so I would now introduce you to control flow statements. So the statements inside your source files or your .java file generally are executed from top to bottom in the order that they appear. So an example is here your protected void on create. So each of this line of code, you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This happens in the order that they are presented from top to the bottom part of the code. So this is basic code, including this set content view. So we take this 4 lines here. This int score equals 90. Then you have 3 toast messages. So these are executed from top to bottom. So, however, you do not see this int score equals 90 because this is an assignment method and it happens in the background. What you see is these toast messages on your screen. However, these are all executed in the sequence of top to bottom. But if you provide a control flow statement anywhere here, it affects how they are executed based on the control flow statement that you have made. So it breaks the sequence of top to bottom. Okay. So what are control flow statements? Control flow statements, however, as I have said, break up the flow of execution by employing decision making, looping, and branching, enabling your program to conditionally execute particular blocks of code. Okay, so that's it. We have provided you. I have provided you with all the necessary theoretical concepts, and we are now ready to proceed to the next video, which would show you how to do it inside your activity.java file.